Hey everyone, and welcome back. It has been a while. So, today we have a really cool gem for you today. And here's my colors. It's going to be green and gold-ish. And to do our gold, I have ivory, not ivory, green gold, and some nougat. I don't know why it's called that, but whatever. And then I have warm gray for my shadow, and then my greens are May green, permanent green, and chrome oxide green, which is our darkest. And I thought it would be very interesting if we did a sort of a leaf inside of a gem. And I saw this on an ammonite cabochon done by Silverhawk Gems or Silverhawk Designers or something like that. And I'll put the picture up next to the video so that you can see it on Facebook. So, first I want to map out a couple of little leaf-like designs, which you may or may not be able to completely see. We might need to do it with this so you can see them better. This is the green gold. And I just kind of want to make little, I don't know, they're like almost amoeba shapes. They're supposed to be sort of leafy, I guess. But, they're kind of whatever you want them to be. I'm just going to make little, like an oak leaf would kind of come out, go around and around and around and come back down and around. So we're gonna go with that. Maybe it'll turn out looking like a leaf, maybe it won't, who knows. Yeah, it's gonna kind of look like amoeba shapes. That's cool. We'll go with amoeba shapes. I'm fine with that if you are. Next time I'll look up some leaf shapes so that I know what I'm doing. These amoeba shapes look okay though. Maybe we should do some like sharp ones. Nah, we'll do that on the next one. And we'll do the next one, like I'll do another one that has like, maybe not a tutorial, but I will do the next gem, have it look like autumn leaves or something. But just going all over, make your own pattern if you want to. It doesn't have to be like these weird little shapes, it can be whatever shapes you want. As always. But a couple of you have told me that your work just comes out better when you follow along. And I get that. I think my own work comes better when I follow along with somebody, but since I don't have too many to follow along with. So I'm just going to outline each one of these shapes with the ivory because I was originally going to draw them in ivory and then outline them in gold. But we'll do it the other way because that way you can see it easier on the video. It also kind of makes the gold glow a little bit if you see that. I see on some of the thicker lines that it does that. We'll come back and I'm sure we'll thicken up some of these lines as well. And then we've got to determine where we want our light source to come from. And that will determine where our shadow is. Definitely want to do a gem with this one and not a stone. Just because I'm feeling gemmy instead of stony. think that's a word. Stony. I think that's a word. I think I already outlined this one, but just to make sure. Can't really tell. Sometimes it can, sometimes it can't. I kind of have to move around. Anyway. Okay. So, some of these I want to get a little bit more gold on. This is green gold in polychromos. And I do like it. It's definitely a very earthy gold. And since that's the kind of feel I wanted for this gem, it's the kind I figured we ought to do. I want my light to come from this side, so this is also where our shadow will be. And then it'll be much lighter down in here. So I'm keeping the gold inside the little shapes, but you could go outside for a different look or whatever you would like to do, of course. I'm not doing all the lines, as you can see, just a lot of them. Just want some variation in here. I don't want it all to look completely the same. Alright, that looks pretty good. And then since we want our shadow mostly over here, I want to do more of the light colors on this side. And this gold, this green, this is May green. I kind of want it for the background and inside some of these shapes as well. See, if you go over it, because I pushed down pretty hard with the ivory, you can actually see that it kind of acts like a relief. See how that happens? And a relief just means that you can go over it really lightly and it will repel the color almost, which is kind of a good thing when you're doing it like this. Because I don't want to lose those lines at all. This is also a color that I have not used before, but I like it. It's very autumn or fall-esque to me. Could be used for moss too, I'll bet. A really good moss color. I just want this for the base of the gem. That way we can add the other colors as we go. This is going to be cool. Let's see. I want to go for the nougat now. Nougat, yeah. N-O-U-G-A-T, nougat, right? Okay. So, I'm going to go in and I want to darken some of these little shapes. Just for fun. And to kind of blend it from the gold into some of the darker that we're going to be doing as colors. And to give it some definition away from the just general background color. You don't have to do all of them. I'm just doing some of them. I want to give it some depth and some shadow and some interest. I am keeping it inside the shapes though. I'm not doing it on the background. Kind of wanting to pop the shapes out a little bit. Yeah, like that. that. Okay, so now we've got our dark green. With the dark green, I want to go in and kind of go into the background more. Just go along like that. Just do little circles, kind of keep it in between the shapes if you can. And don't worry, because you've got that ivory line that will kind of help you with that. So when you push really hard, it indents the paper just enough that it helps with just especially if you're using light layers, it'll help you just kind of keep your color where you want it. I'm going lighter and lighter as I get down here because we want our light to be down here. So just gonna go down here and come kind of out up here, but mostly around the edge down here. Want to bring down our edge, make sure it's curving down and away from us. That's looking kind of fun, I think. And then we've got our bright green, which is permanent green, is the one that I picked out. And again, I want to go inside the shapes this time. So we're trying to just give them a differentiation, basically. Alright, now I want to go back and get my May green, because that was in the background. I'm kind of helping to smooth this out a little bit. But actually, you know what? I'm just going to grab my mineral spirits over here and sharpen up one of my little tortillions and go in and work on smoothing out that background. I want to work really quick with a light touch. I don't want anything to be so blended out that we lose any of what we're trying to do here. And then I'll sharpen it again and get rid of that color really. Go in and do the inside of these shapes. Like that. Alright. Okay. I'm gonna go back down to the dark green, the chrome green, and start bringing in some of that background. And darkening it up. It really pops now. I like that. One of the things you'll notice about mineral spirits, if you ever use it, is that once you've done it, everything on here is a whole lot smoother. Like, you don't feel quite as much of the pencil grabbing. It's very, very, very smooth. There's still tooth and everything, it's just that it's kind of softened a little bit because the mineral spirits is of course liquid. So get my May green and kind of bring it in here as our in color, or our light color, whatever. I'm not sure what I just said. And bring in the ivory. I'm just going to bring out some of these outlines that I think are going back in there. I don't want them to go back in. I want them to kind of stay standing out. I think this just looks interesting overall. Alright, I just want this to be lighter down here. Okay, gray. Where's our gray? Oh, there it is. Alright, so I picked out warm gray, because this is a warmer toned kind of, I don't know, I just thought like warm gray would go good with it. And we're just pulling out and beginning work on our shadow. And you're just going to go over everything with it. Because your shadow, it does exactly that. It casts a shadow. When you're putting on your shadow for gems, what you're doing is basically saying, you know, I'm putting that cap of glass like on top of what you've already put down. Look at that. Look how bright that makes the ivory come out. When you put that shadow on it, it does. It's casting a shadow on what you've got already going down there. Which is good. You want it to do that. It adds to the illusion. As always, want to bring it all the way around because we do want our edges to look like they are going down and away from us. So, alright, I want to bring a little bit of this bright green up into some of our little shapes. I feel like they're kind of losing their vibrancy. Alright, I'm liking it. It's odd and it's different, but I kind of like that about it. I'm gonna just go for it and bring out a much darker gray. I grabbed Payne's gray because I like that. I really want to deepen this shadow over here. So just going along this edge and up here. Turn this a little bit so I can get a little bit different angle on it. I just didn't feel like that warm gray was dark enough. I'm all about contrast, man. Gonna bring it around all of my edges. Really want to hype that contrast. And then, just to help blend a little bit, I'm going to run over it with my Tertullian. Alright. I kind of like that. It's very different. Don't you think? Alright. I'm going to grab my fantabulous highlighter. My Uniball Signo thingamabob. And get it going over here on my scrap paper. And then, since my highlight, I'm going to come here with it. Remember, you always just kind of want to touch it and then move it. Touch it and move it. Because these things can be so fickle. And do a couple of extra little around it. Oh, I don't like that one. And then, of course, as usual, I go in with one of those super sharp pencils. Just kind of clean up my highlight. Make sure the edges are very smooth and not bulbous. And I'm really just scraping at it. I'm not trying to color or anything. And there we have it. Our super shiny little amoeba looking thing. Alright, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. And I definitely want to see your version of this in the group. So, go at it and tag me when you're done. Talk to you next time. Bye.